Good morning. Welcome to the Lowdown. Thank God we're back, baby. Thank God we're back. I got all kinds of cool stuff to talk about today. Got one not cool topic to talk about today. I got to go up to Lexington today and get fitted for my radiation molding. Should get all the information on that as to what kind of radiation I've got in front of me. And then, we're going to knuckle up and go get it done. Nothing to it but to do it. So we got that to do. Got a lot of driving ahead of me. Me and my wife, we are starting the in vitro process. I mean, we've already started. But that's coming at us too at the same time. So a lot of driving back and forth. But I'll explain to you where maybe a lot of people's mindset are wrong on that. When I tell people about these things, they're like, wow, that's a lot of driving. And I'm thinking, it is. Most certainly is. But I was willing to go work 8 hours a day, 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day for money. So I can definitely go do this for 8, 10, 12, 14 hours a day to save my life or to create a life. It's all about that perspective, guys. Not that much... When I look at it that way, it's pretty easy to get up out the bed, pretty easy to go up there and do what I got to do, and just commit, right? Quit whining and just do it. So that's what I'm doing. I'll keep you all posted. We'll see how it goes. As far as the baby doctor and this whole in vitro process, I think a lot of you guys that know me real personally, you know that we've spent years trying to figure this out. I've thrown a lot of money at the wall, and it's been a real process. I wrote one thing down on that is, I dropped my ink pen too while I was talking about it. But I wrote this down. It says, baby doctor / women, ? I put a question mark because, look, guys, to the men that are listening, okay, I probably know more about the female anatomy than anybody other than a gynecologist. And I genuinely have no freaking clue what's going on. I mean, I've spent years researching this, being at appointments, asking very detailed questions and getting detailed answers. I got no clue, guys. So when it comes to women's reproductive rights, things like that, I try to genuinely not have an opinion. It's not just reproductive rights, but most everything. When I say this, the more I begin to know, I don't know. Guys, if you're a guy listening to this, you don't have a single clue what's going on in a woman's body. Let me just tell you. I mean, wow. So take it for what it's worth. They have a lot going on. And I don't think a lot of guys would make it if they were women. I'm just going to be honest. A lot of guys bully their way through life physically, or they simply make it just because they are men. If you're a woman, you have a whole host of new things to deal with. And this isn't the 1950s anymore where they get to stay at home. We expect our women to go to work and pay taxes and do all of these things. So I don't think a lot of guys would make it. I'll just tell you. Moving on. Guys, a lot of you wonder how much I drink while we're still talking about medical stuff. A lot of you guys wonder how I can drink so much black coffee. And really, it's just because I have a genetic condition where my body does not produce it. Which is some real bull. It's some bull. I'm hoping they can fix that genetic condition. Maybe I can get me almost like an insulin pump for coffee, right? That'd be sweet. Just get me a steady drip of caffeine. Get me pumped up through the day. Nothing too much, nothing too light. Maybe I could adjust it daily. That'd be gangster. I got a couple little things here. Let's see. One of the things I wanted to talk about today is at the beginning of the year, I bought a new lawnmower. I had a 30-year-old mower that had been given to me, and I really needed it when it was given to me. Still did. But it got to the point where I had to work on it every time I mowed for the last couple of years, and I knew with my one arm I wasn't going to go work on my mower every time I cut my grass, so I got a new mower. And I realized when I got it, well, you got a little more time to mow your grass this year. Let's hop on the old internets, the old interwebs. Let's figure out a best way we can cut our grass, you know. So I started cutting my grass about 1.5 inches taller and cutting it kind of not so frequently, honestly. It's not that I just leave it out there and let it grow up and get weedy, but I don't cut it. I don't get peer pressured into cutting it just because my neighbors cut it. And so in doing that, I have created a lush carpet of grass in my yard. It really has gotten so much thicker and healthier, and it feels better. I spent a lot of time outdoors in my bare feet playing with my dogs, and it really genuinely did work. So if you're having lawn care problems, if the middle of the summer your yard's getting brown and things like that, cut your grass a little bit taller, cut it a little less frequent, and that will hold the moisture in the bottom of the grass and create a better environment for it to grow. So it did work for me. I just thought I would put that out there. I didn't know if it would work or not, and I knew I would cover that once I found out. And I've been paying a lot of attention to it, and it did work. Let's see. Okay, we got 2 pieces of news here. We've got the Trump-Epstein deal. Let's go there again. A little bit of news came out on that. Okay, apparently Trump wrote a letter to Epstein with a picture on it and a whole bunch of greasy talk. The Wall Street Journal says so anyways. They put it out. Guys, beside this, the only thing I wrote is gay. And here's why. If you don't have something definitive, if you don't have actual proof, and something as simple as writing a letter, that can be faked so easily. I mean, holy cow, could that be faked easily? That why even publish it? It's like they want to fearmonger and they want to create diversion and they want to create all this animosity between everybody. That's not the goal. Do I want everything about the Epstein files exposed? Absolutely. But I want the honest version. I don't want this hoopla crap. I don't want a fake letter so you can get some clickbait on the Wall Street Journal. That's garbage. That's terrible journalism. Everything about it is gross as far as I'm concerned. They have no way of authenticating that. And listen, if it comes out that it's true later, that's cool and all. But right now, you have no way of definitively proving that. So when you put stuff out there like that, and you have no way of knowing, you're basically just telling a lie to the masses. So I wrote gay beside that because that seemed real gay. I just thought that was dumb. I want Trump exposed if he's on that list more than anyone, but I want it done correctly. I want it done honestly. Right? I don't want some made-up fairy tale of a letter. Moving on. Yesterday, the NPR, National Public Radio, and PBS were both defunded. I hope that's what NPR stands for. I shouldn't have said that. I think that's what NPR stands for. I don't know. Boy, I should know, shouldn't I? You guys might need to find a new host. No, seriously. But NPR, PBS were both defunded from the government. Now, they have other funds that come in. They have other sponsors, things like that. But the government was a big sponsor for them. So they're going to have to scale back and figure out some new things. And that really happened because Trump has a terrible relationship with them. And that's not Trump's fault. They've been attacking that guy for years. I actually really appreciated the fact he did that. And I don't like the fact they were funded by the government to begin with. If it's wartime, if we are in World War III, yeah, we probably need a national broadcast. But we need one we can trust, for one. And for two, right now, it seems very unnecessary for them to just be doiling in politics, especially when they're going to be as biased as they are. So I'm okay with that. We'll see what happens with them. Hopefully they don't just full-on collapse. But, you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. I'm a very firm believer of that. Guys, it's Freebird Friday. Take a knee, drink some water. Don't go into the weekend dehydrated, or you're going to get real dehydrated. Drink some water. Song of the day is Roll, Gypsy Roll by the greatest band ever made, Leonard Skinner. Woo! All right, guys, get after it. I love you. Later.